up, boys and girls? I'm Chris. He's Mike. This is the Chris and Mike Show.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
Hey, let's do some shout-outs, man. The people listen to the show and say, hey, we love you, and we don't ever really talk about them like we should. So, hey.
Yes, so I actually work with two people, and more than two people, but I actually work with two people I found out basically have listened to almost every episode. So we're going to give a shout-out to Bobby and Joe. Thanks for tuning in and actually having constructive criticism and telling us the positive notes. The positive notes were apparently Bobby likes our brains.
Bobby and Joe, thank you. Thank you very
Yes.
much. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
I think Joe Biden may do a little, or Trump, or both of them may do a little shout out on the Facebook page for Joe and Bobby. So you better tune into that later.
I might have to show one or the other. I'm not sure they have that, but I will definitely pass the message along.
There you go, man. There you go. So what's up, buddy?
You sent me an interesting text last night while I was watching the football game, and
Yes.
had a couple things that I found oddly entertaining myself. So do share with myself and the group, if you would.
Well, we were talking. I was talking to Nikki. Nikki, actually, the wife. You know.
Okay.
I don't know how it came up. It came up. The conversation came up organically about nursery rhymes and how really dark and evil they are, right? And the Muffin Man, believe it or not, is actually folklore. Is that it's about a serial killer, a gentleman who used to lure children into alleyways and kill them, and he would do so with pastries, and that's why. Do you know the Muffin Man? Yeah, the Muffin Man. Yeah, the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane. Because that's the whole nursery rhyme itself is really quick. Nursery rhymes.
Yeah, you bebop it.
Rhymes that
The Muffin Man, the
Muffin Man. Do you know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane?
Yes.
Yes, I know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. Yes, I know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane.
Well, now it's definitely demented.
So the dude is a serial killer, or was. So I just Googled nursery rhymes with dark meanings. Okay.
Hold on. The guy was a serial killer that wrote the song, or
No. The community wrote
was
the song
about the guy.
him
Okay, yeah.
to educate the children.
That's what I thought when you
to
said it the
stay-
first time. When you said it the second
Right.
time, you had me convinced that this guy
Right.
wrote the song.
Yeah, no. Stay away from the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane. Why? Because he's going to eat your brain. So, Mary. So there's 15. I don't know if there's 15. I just typed in nursery rhymes with dark meanings. The other one that was interesting, Ring Around the Rosie. That is about the bubonic plague. I can't fucking say that.
You
word.
said it.
The bubonic plague. So,
Yep.
Ringing around the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes. We all fall down. Ashes, ashes, because you had to burn the body. The ring around the rosy, the ring around the rosy is the sign of the plague. So the descriptions of it first appeared in the mid-19th century through it is reported to date from decades similar. So that's what that's about.
Okay, so now, excuse me. Now I have another question.
Okay.
How long after the bubonic plague was that nursery rhyme written? Or was it written during... Okay, type that in. When was Ring Around the Rosie written?
Ring Around the Rosie, also known...
I'll tell you why I
roses. Okay, a ring of roses, also known as a ring of Rosie. In the United States, it was Ring Around the Rosie. Nursery rhyme, folk song, playground game. Descriptions first appeared in the mid-19th century. Though it's reported to date from decades earlier, similar rhymes are known across Europe with varying lyrics. It has a Roud Folk Song Index, number 7,925. So...
I was curious if they wrote it during the time of the plague as like an alleviation from all the... Because that was a horrible time to live, right? Like 9 out of 10 people died.
One variation was recorded as being used in the 1840s. Another one in 1855. So it's kind of all over the place. European variants first printed in 1796, and I can't read it because it's in German. Ringel Rein. Wir sind der Kindern drin. Sie sind unteren Holobusch und machen alle osh. So, there's that answer. 1874, 1885, 1877, 1872. I mean, it's all kind. And now it talks about the Great Plague. which is what the folklore scholars said it meant with the origin. And that was mid 20th century. And the illustrations for it was 1862 was the oldest illustration all the way up to 1940. There's one pictured here on Wikipedia that's from 1922. So it's kind of hard to answer the question because it's all over the place.
So this will put it into perspective then.
Okay.
So the first date that you mentioned was 18-something, right?
1897, according to the general and cited sources.
The bubonic plague started in 1346.
Okay.
It was known as the Black Death.
Yeah. So somebody decided, Bring Around the Rosies was bubonic plague, so whatever.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. So you got the serial killer. You got the Mary Quite Contrary. What is this? Why is this dark? And Pretty Maids all in a row. We think of contrariness as a tiny character flaw, the nursery rhyme is full of flowering. It asks, "Hey Mary, how does your garden grow?" Maybe Mary had a dingling, and she's the first they, them, thus person in the history of non-binary people. I don't know. I don't know why three blind mice are considered dark.
Because you're making fun of the handicapped?
Oh, maybe. That's a good point. Ba ba black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, yes, sir, 3 bags full. He was a madman. The dude was yes, ma'am, not a madman. Yes, sir, 3 bags full. There are a few stories about, I don't know. I don't. Rockabye Baby, that's obviously evil. In the treetop when the bough breaks, the cradle will, fall. That's like fucking, let's throw a baby up in the tree and kill it. Jack and Jill, I'm kind of partial to the Andrew Dice Clay one. Jack and Jill went up a hill, each with a buck and a quarter. Jill came down with $2.50. Oh,
that was always my favorite too, by the way.
Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to give her dog a bone. When she boned over, Rover took over. He got a bone of her own. There's another dice. What's funny, my buddy Todd and I went and saw Andrew Dice when he first came back, back around at a casino. He was all right, and then he busted out those last 10, 15 nursery rhyme jokes at the end, and everybody just lost their shit and laugh and hoot and holler, and then he was done. It's like an hour of fluff, and then because that shit's quick, man. When he does that nursery rhyme spiel, it's like 3 minutes and he's done.
That's what made him famous.
Boom, right.
That
and swearing on MTV.
Yes. He did go to bat for all the people that don't have to put up with whatever level of censorship we still have left. It was horrible when he was coming up.
Yeah.
They were protesting every concert he had.
Uh-huh. Yep. Him and what was Sam, fat guy, Fat Sam, the comedian. Sam Kinison. I think he and Dice in their era, they both kind of pushed the envelope a little bit more than other ones. And I mean, you think about Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and shit. I mean, those dudes, they you ever watch those?
Richard Pryor in his day was for sure one of the best. He's in the top 5 ever.
Yeah,
and he broke a lot of barriers too.
Oh, big time.
But I agree with you in that Dice and Kinison definitely pushed Red Fox and Pryor, Carlin. They pushed that level of humor to the next level for sure.
Yeah.
I agree with Rogan. Kinison was probably the funniest guy alive for 18 months.
Yeah, he was. He was good, dude. I love his.
But he just burned himself at both ends, like Chris Farley did, just red line all the way, 100 miles an hour. I know I did it for 3 years myself. I'm not innocent either. So you can't do that forever because I told you in my recovery story, I literally woke up one day and I'm like, I don't want to die. I knew I was going to die. Those guys just kept going until their heart exploded,
Well, Kinison died in a car accident.
He did, but he would have never made it anyway.
No.
He was redlining coke, 24/7.
The funny thing about him is Kinison was a preacher.
He was.
And he just went to the dark side.
No, something he got a traumatic brain injury.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, if you read his his brother wrote a book.
Okay.
My Brother Sam
Okay. Oh,
is the title of it.
right on.
And he says in there that I can't remember how he might have gotten another car accident before he got in a car accident that killed him. Something gave him a traumatic brain injury, and he was never the same after that. He went from Preacher Sam to what we all knew as Sam Kinison, the comedian.
Right.
Just crazy, and that's what happens when part of your brain gets damaged that controls empathy or impulse. I guess in his case
Impulse
it would be
control.
impulse. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's every now and then you see these little tidbits on social media. There's the last one I saw was his. How you stop. What the fuck was it, man? It was one of his funny ones about. Let's see if the Google machine can find it. Is it? Yeah. Oh yeah. How to stop world hunger. You just stop.
Yeah,
sending
that was
them
my
food.
favorite.
You just stop sending food to the poor countries, man.
That one and the one that he did about the starving kids in Ethiopia. He's like, you live in the fucking desert. There's no water. You can't grow anything. Fucking move. Why do you stay there?
Right.
Horrible. But
Right.
they're jokes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Comedy is definitely supposed to push the boundaries of society's
Exactly.
acceptance.
It's supposed to be funny, man.
They're
It's
just
supposed
jokes.
to be funny.
If you can't take a joke, don't go to a fucking comedy show. Don't listen to it. Don't watch it. But some of us enjoy it.
Yeah, he had a thing on HBO in 1987 called "Breaking the Rules." And then, of course, he had the rock and roll video, Wild Thing.
Wild Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a rock star for a while.
Yeah, he was.
Jessica Hahn was in that video.
Yeah. Yeah, he was diddling Jessica Hahn for a while there.
Jessica Hahn signed Ray's pink Stratocaster that he played all the time.
Oh, right on, man.
Yeah. That was Ray Stone's claim to fame. He's like, it's my Jessica Hahn guitar, man.
That's cool, dude.
Oh, yeah.
When he did that one, too, where he's a teacher, I see that one every now and then where he's talking about Vietnam or something, and then the student raises their hand and they have like a total apolitical.
I forgot about that one.
Something like totally politically answered. She's like, is she right? Well, what do you think, class? Is she right? Well, technically she's right, but she wasn't in the shit that in Saigon with fucking going off and shredding her. Scream. He had the best scream. He had an amazing voice to scream. Like,
fantastic.
It's like rock stars just would die for the ability to scream like that, because it was just fucking straight up gutter roll from the diaphragm and hold that shit out. And just, awesome.
Yeah, that's only second to music. Do I love comedy? It's like stand-up comedy to me is just the art form, for one, is amazing. You're up there, you're in front of hundreds or thousands of people. It's just you. There's no band, there's no music.
You're alone.
And you either sink or swim, man. And when you see somebody do it and their timing is just like a band's timing's got to be, it's spot on. And like you said, everything's moving and snapping. And
yep.
There's comedians that can have me rolling to the point. Bert Kreischer's one of them. I got to pause the shit because like my stomach will hurt. I'm laughing so hard. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Look up Bert Kreischer on Netflix. Watch every one of them, man. You'll fucking die.
Well, I just did this thing. I just typed in top selling comedians of all time. Okay. And I said all time. And then of course this fucking Google machine, it's 2023. So the top 10 grossing, Billboard announces top 10 highest grossing comics on tour in 2023. Okay. So Joe Coy, I never heard of Joe Coy until a couple weeks ago, where Netflix suggested I watch him. I haven't watched him yet, but it's like Joe Coy. Okay. Whoever the fuck. Adam Sandler. Yeah, that was number 10. So this is 10 through 1. Joe Coy, then Adam Sandler, Sebastian Maniscalco. I never heard of him.
No, never watched him.
Taylor Tomlinson.
Seen her. She's funny.
Wow, fucking $17.5 million in 2023.
Well, she's got her own show now. She's got a night show.
Peter K. I suppose just to go back to the beginning, let's start this over. So Joe Coy grossed 13.4 million. This is 2023. Adam Sandler 14.2 million. That Sebastian dude 18.8 million. The Taylor Tomlinson 17.5 million. Peter K 20.5 million. Nate Bargatze 20.8 million. Bill Burr number 4 at 20.6 million. Now we're in the top 3, and the reason why I said that is because Bert Kreischer, how you ever say it,
Kreischer,
32.9 million. He played 80 shows and sold 480,000 tickets. Dave Chappelle, no surprise, 36.6 million, and the number 1 selling comic in 2023 with a whopping $67.5 million, selling 631,000 tickets, but only played 82 shows. The shortest black comedian you'll ever know, Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart.
Funny motherfucker.
$67.5 million for 82 shows.
He's hilarious, though, man.
That's fucking insane. So
He's worth it.
That was last year, 2023. I wanted all time, but that's not what they gave me. So, here's all time. Let's see if it works. Highest comedians of all time. This is according to Center Stage. Kevin Hart, 59 million, number 1. Jerry Seinfeld, 41 million, number 2. Jim Gaffigan, 30 million, number 3. Trevor Noah, 28 million, number 4. Sebastian dude again, 26 million. Gabriel Iglesias, 22 million.
He's funny.
Amy Schumer, 21 million. That's pretty impressive for a chick to be up there.
She's funny.
Yeah, Terry Fader, the comedian, the ventriloquist comedian. Whoa, microphone move. 17 million for Terry Fader. Sorry about that technical interruption. Jeff Dunham, no relation, 15 million. Aziz Ansari, 13 million. Now, the funny thing about Aziz Ansari, you know who Aziz Ansari is, right?
Yeah, I've watched him stand up too.
Yeah, and he was on Amy Poehler's show, Parks and Rec. Okay?
Yeah.
Dude was a hashtag Me Too like a son of a bitch. That dude got destroyed when that stuff came out. Just absolutely destroyed.
That I did not know.
Just fucking destroyed. That dude was handsy like freaking Harvey Keitel. Or not Harvey Keitel. What's the fuck was his name? Harvey?
So is he gone now? Done?
He's not gone, but he's not he's kind of gradually coming back. I've seen him in a couple little things, but he got destroyed. He got lit up by that shit. I did not know that. He got lit up by that shit. Let's just go Aziz.
I've watched his stand-up specials on Netflix, but that's really all I knew of him. I don't watch Parks and Rec, so.
Yeah, sexual misconduct allegations in 2019. Let's see. A website published the count of women who claimed that while on dates with Ansari, the comedian pressured them to have sexual intercourse. He randomly touched genitals. He probably kind of did the Trump thing, or remember Crocodile Dundee? Just checking. He took a break after all the sexual misconduct allegations against him in 2018. And like I said, he's just kind of coming back. There's little pockets of him I see every now and then. But he's kind of just now coming back. But he got lit up by that shit. That one dude from that 70s show, you know what I'm talking about?
Danny Masterson?
Yes, that dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I knew all about that. I mean, you had to be living under a rock. He was a Scientologist too, right?
That's not surprising.
Yeah, fucking whack jobs.
Yeah. So his headline is Daniel Peter Matterson, born March 13th, 1976, as an American actor and convicted rapist. That's his tagline. Rapist. He's an American actor and a convicted rapist.
Well, at least they put that in there.
Right? 30 years
that's what
in
he
prison.
Is now.
30 years to life. 30 years to life for raping 2 people.
What a fucking idiot.
Right? Yeah. Prosecutors argued that he relied on his status as a prominent Scientologist to avoid accountability.
Yeah, it didn't work out for him.
No.
You don't get to commit crimes of that level and then hide behind your religion. Not unless you're Catholic.
Because he was convicted after 3 women testified that he had sexually assaulted them at his Hollywood home from 2001 to 2003 during the height of his television fame. The jury heard the testimony that he had given them drugs before he assaulted them. Cosby! He was found guilty of rape against 2 of his 3 accusers. The charges brought by the 3rd accuser were declared a mistrial, and prosecutors said they do not plan to retry the case. Blah, blah, blah. 2, they had the women have displayed this tremendous strength and bravery by coming forward to law enforcement and participating directly in 2 grueling criminal trials. Despite persistent harassment, obstruction, and intimidation, these courageous women helped hold a ruthless sexual predator accountable. So the question becomes, while he was on that show, was he fucking around with some of the co-stars, Laura Prepon and Mila Kunis? Mila Kunis was underage when she got on that show.
So Laura is also a Scientologist.
Oh, that explains it. I didn't know that. That's a bummer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bummer on both accounts. I had higher expectations for both of them, and for surely I never thought that Hyde would be a fucking rapist.
No.
You know, that was so disappointing. It's like you got the world by the balls.
Yeah.
You don't have to. I mean, that just shows that you have an absolute, once again, sickness in your fucking brain, which fascinates you and I, that people can achieve that level of success and still be that broken, you know?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you thinking?
Right? His wife divorced him in 2023. Wonder why? How could you be married to that dude when those allegations? I mean, I get standing by your man, but
for a time, you know, and that would be a very short time.
Yeah.
The same thing with that Ansari guy. It's like, number one, you're not that funny.
Right. He's not.
I'm not that impressed with him. You have to be. I'll tell you who impresses me right now is Kreischer, Bill Burr, Joey Diaz, Ari Shaffir, obviously Rogan.
Yeah.
That level of Tony Hinchcliffe. Tony Hinchcliffe might be the funniest young person alive today. He's probably, 37 or 38 now, but he started super young, like in his 20s, and basically took the comedy world by the balls as far as podcasts and plays some of the biggest shows in the country.
Right on.
He's hilarious. But those guys are all the level of comedians that I would expect, my musicians to be. It's like, you got to be fucking funny, man. I don't want to hear like 2 good jokes when I go to a comedy show. It better be funny from beginning to end, and you better capture my attention, because there's very few people that can do that at that level.
Right. So, since we opened up the rabbit hole of Me Too, the number one person out of 216 people that have fallen because of the Me Too dealio, first one, Diddy.
No, obviously.
But back in 2017, by a personal chef, he settled the matter out of court with an undisclosed amount of money in February 2019. Then in November of 23, his former partner accused him of rape, sex trafficking, and physical abuse. Combs settled the matter out of court immediately. Days later, further lawsuits against Combs were filed by additional complainants claiming sexual assault and showcasing nude videos without their permission. Combs recorded sexual assault as far back as in the early 1990s. This past December, not this December, but a year ago, rape allegation was made in a lawsuit. February 24, the complainant...
he's a scumbag on a level I can't even imagine.
Right. He was 17 years old at the time. At the time of the alleged assault, music producer Rodney Jones additionally alleges charges that Combs drugged and sexually assaulted him, also forced him to have sex with sex workers. Blah, 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 blah. He's going to be locked away for a long fucking time.
Just kill him.
There's
no use for him whatsoever.
Yeah. Vince McMahon... I'm not going to read all his stuff, but that shit was mind-boggling. Vince McMahon.
Once again, you're one of the richest fucking people in the world. Why do you have to be a fucking asshole?
Right.
Like, that shit angers me. It just does.
Yeah. Harvey Weinstein, we know. R. Kelly, who I don't understand how R. Kelly's been in and out of prison all these years. Like, remember Aaliyah, who died in that plane crash?
Yep.
He married her when she was 15,
He's a sick fuck too.
Yeah, and then Bill Cosby, which was just like, what the fuck? America's dad. Like, he was America's dad, man.
Damn right he was.
Forever and ever. Like, he broke so much barriers on a TV program level that
All the way back to before,
Right.
like, so he goes back to when my mom and dad were teenagers.
Yeah.
He was on that. He was a black detective on a cop show
Yeah.
in the fucking 60s,
Yeah,
people.
yeah. I forget, but yeah, he was. And then he did
can't
Fat
remember the
Albert.
name of the-
I can't either. But then he did hey, it's Fat Albert.
Then he came out with Bill Cosby himself, which is arguably one of the best
The
comedy
best,
specials to date, still to
Clean.
this day.
Clean too. Like not
Funny.
I Spy. I Spy was a TV
I
show.
Spy, yes.
I Spy. 65 to 68, I Spy. Then
was a
69 to
big
71. Yeah, 69 to 71, he had the Bill Cosby show. 99 to 2004, Lil Bill, which I think Skylar watched that when she was a kid. Fat Albert, 72 to 85. Then he had his Cosby show, 96 to 2000.
So he's literally been touching generations of kids since the 60s.
Ba-dum-bump.
What? No, I don't think he liked kids, though. He
was
liked to
touching the
rape
kid-
women.
He was touching the kids' parents.
Yes.
And then,
He liked the moms.
yeah, then Michael
were
Jordan.
asleep.
Yeah. Then Michael Jackson. We all know about that.
That's another one I'll never understand. So we're guys.
Well, here's the thing
How
about
much
Michael.
fucking fun could drugging a woman and then raping her while she's asleep?
I don't know.
That's
I think it's a power. I think some people it's a power trip, right? Because you're kind of like Dahmer. Let's go to Dahmer.
that's a weird fetish, though.
Right, but Dahmer would drug people because he wanted to create a sex zombie slave. So that's what Dahmer's end game was. It just never really worked because it just didn't work. He'd end up killing them or they'd escape. So I don't. Yeah, I think it's really just. It's just the power they have. You reach that certain point, right, where you have all the power in the world. Because Cosby at one point in time, like, you know, from a Hollywood standpoint, was probably, you know, like the shit when it came to, you know, anything you want, Bill, you can have type thing. Same with Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein being a movie producer, and it's hard to say, but in the 80s and 90s, I doubt there's really seldom movies that weren't produced without his hand in them or his brother's hand in them.
He was making people hundreds of millions of dollars. That's why he got away with that shit for so long.
Right. And so I know women that if you're an actress, I gotta watch how I say this because I want people to get all fucking mad at me. But if you're an actress and you're going and doing an audition with Harvey Weinstein, being there, knowing his reputation, you know what you're walking into. Like, right? Like Nikki's a very clear-headed woman. She, you know, I mean, there's lines, you know, of all people that you don't cross like shit.
Unless you were just an innocent girl from fucking Nebraska that landed in Hollywood and wanted to be a star, and you had the right look, and you had gone to acting school. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's
Everybody else went.
There's plenty of situations where you're going to be in a situation you've never been before, and nobody warned you before you got there. You know what I'm saying?
100%. But
I'm banking on there were more instances of that than there was. Hey, when you go in there, this guy's going to try and fuck you.
I kind of agree, but at the same time, I think that
You don't have to agree. I'm just saying.
No. I'm not
That's
saying
just
that.
my opinion.
I'm just saying I kind of agree that there were the people that elevated to the level they are, without compromising their principles, but there are many. There's many. Like, I mean, we would be probably baffled by the number that did what they felt was necessary to break that barrier. Because you figure there's a million people in Hollywood that to be a star.
But then you can go one step further and say that the bottom third of those people we're talking about, if we're putting them in a pie chart, would have never made it had they not done that.
This is true.
Right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think there's people in Hollywood now that went down the casting couch path to get where they are.
1,000,000%.
You know, and there's ones that didn't, but I even think the ones that didn't, they still. And it's not right. It's not fair. It's total bullshit. But I still think even from the male perspective, there's things that people do to achieve their dreams that normal people don't realize that they'd be willing to do, because again, they're trying to achieve their dreams. And you know, people. people stop at nothing sometimes, right?
I agree with you, and I would go one step further and say I think that, you know, especially, not to say that there's anything wrong with it, but if you're so far detached from it, like middle America, I don't think they understand going to work every day that the movie business, the TV business, and the music business are not like the job you go to every day.
Correct.
Right? Yep. It's not like you punch in and it's a 9 to 5. There's a fucking concrete wall that's 100 miles high in front of you, and you got to start chipping at it to even get anybody to listen to you, right?
Yep.
And the only reason I bring this up is because Chris will remember it was hard to get gigs. You know, we had to go beg. Yeah. We had to play at fucking Chinese restaurants while people were eating, you know?
Yeah.
And we did. I played at a pizza place too. Just crazy shit to get yourself noticed, and it's the same way in Hollywood, only you're selling yourself, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So if you're a woman and you got a good body and this guy's saying, hey, I can put you in a movie that's going to make $150 million.
Yep. And you're going to be a star, and you're going to be able to write your ticket for the rest of your career. And I think you can look at some actors that were high up, you know, on the food chain, and they can be like, yeah, like first one that comes to mind is Sharon Stone. I don't know anything about Sharon Stone, but it seems to me that Sharon Stone, who willingly lifted her leg in Fatal Attraction,
right?
She probably lifted her leg more than once to get where she is. Not saying that I know that for proof, but I'm just saying that you can look at some and think, this is interesting.
Here's the other side of that real quick.
Okay.
There's women out there that would say, fuck yeah, I did.
Yeah,
and maybe
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Because those women they think differently, right? They had a different path in life, and they would be the first to admit, yeah, I did what it took, you know?
Yep. So this is insane. Okay. So the Me Too hit list, there's 216 people on this thing, and I've been scrolling through it. Some of these people are going to blow your mind. Kevin Spacey, I'm sure you heard of that.
Oh, yeah.
Ron Jeremy, I don't get.
He like boys, though.
Yeah. Ron Jeremy, I don't get. Ron Jeremy is an adult film star, and he was charged with 24 counts of rape and sexual assault. Really? Like, if you're going out with Ron Jeremy,
right?
You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you're going up to Tyson's room. I'm not justifying what Tyson.
I'm not even going to try and be a devil's advocate on that.
Right,
one.
But if you go up to one of these people's rooms and you're out on the town, you run into Mike Tyson, that whole rape allegation. And again, I'm not standing up for Mike Tyson in any way, shape, and form. He was tried, convicted of it, and so we can assume he did it. But you're going upstairs to somebody like his room, right? Knowing his history, knowing his past, knowing that he lives in a violent world because he's a pugilist.
The guy owns tigers or lions.
Exactly.
Or some shit. Yeah.
He still owns them. So Ron Jeremy's kind of mind-boggling. Louis C.K. Accused of sexually inappropriate
That
behavior.
one doesn't surprise me just because I know a little bit about Louis C.K.
Right. Indecent exposure.
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson.
In his defense, though, I'm remembering this. In his defense, they knew what they were getting into.
Yes.
He told them up front he was going to jack off in front of them. He just wanted to get He didn't even fuck them.
Yeah.
And he told them exactly what they were going to do, and then some of them still were like, eh.
Yep. Yeah. Kobe Bryant, 2003, settled out of court, sexual assault. We all knew that. It was a rape thing. That's why he bought his wife that watermelon-sized diamond ring that, appeared on her finger 2 months later.
Correct.
Oliver Stone, accused by Patricia Arquette, Melissa Gilbert, two of the ones that accused him. He was part of Harvey Weinstein's world.
He tried to rape little Laura Ingalls?
Yeah. Steven Tyler, that just came out. But that was like, come on, dude. You like how long ago? Like, fucking give me a break.
Once again,
yeah, way
you're
back.
You're getting into bed with a fucking rock star,
right?
What do you think's gonna happen?
Right. We talked about Garth Brooks. That still has not been resolved. Mel Gibson assaulting his girlfriend in 2010. Casey Affleck, which is kind of a drag. Two of his former coworkers filed civil lawsuits against him. And sued Affleck for $2 million for multiple complaints of sexual harassment and a breach of an oral contract. Christian Bale arrested in 2008 accusations of assaulting his mother and sister. Well,
Batman.
Right. He was tired of them, fucking with him. Marlon Brando.
That was a good Batman.
Marlon Brando, accused by Maria Schneider
cuff,
of forcing himself on her during the rape scene in Last Tango in Paris. So,
oh Jesus!
right, the scene you're going to film. You know the scene. There was no penetration, but she claims Brando did not make her aware of his approach to the scene. Really? It's written that you're going to be raped in Last Tango in Paris. This is the scene where you're going to be raped.
The last
time.
And
I'm not defending, at all.
You got excited. That was funny.
Yeah, because rape is rape. No means no.
You were
James
the last
Brown.
Pango in Terrace.
Yep, James Brown, 1988, accused. James Franco, this is mind-boggling. He admitted in 2014, admitted to a 17-year-old girl's claim that he had sent her messages attempting to meet her in a hotel room after she told him he was 17. In 2018, Ali Sheedy, Breakfast Club fame, hinted she quit acting after working with Franco. Franco's ex-girlfriend, Violet, alleged that Franco forced her to give him oral sex in a car while they were dating. Yeah, we've all driven a car. How do you force someone to go down on you while you're driving a car?
You would be super talented.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And again, not discounting anything, just saying. Stallone, sexual assault.
So here's a question.
Okay.
For you personally.
Okay.
At what point, because I have mine, at what point do you say when you hear these stories just as a one-off as they come up, how many people does it take before you're absolutely convinced?
I think there's got to be, because all these people are famous, right? And so I think there's a bit of a...
Like Bill Cosby had, 24, 42, some bullshit.
Yeah.
At like 8, I'm like, okay, it'd be hard to get 8 women to say...
Right. I would say 3. I would say if there was...
number.
I don't discount the first and second allegation.
Because 2 could be a collusion, right?
Right. But if there's a third,
it's hard to get. Once again, it's hard to get 3 women to agree on.
Right.
Sorry, ladies, but
no,
we're
not discounting the fact. We're not playing it down.
No
means no. Mike and I would never even think of being that person, or even
I don't even like looking at violent porn. So that's
And see, I don't even watch porn. So this one blew my mind right here. Number 52, Jim Carrey, accused of the wrongful death of his former girlfriend.
Wow.
Wrongful death.
Was he convicted though?
No, it's accused. These are accused. Wow. This was the 2016 Me Too hit list, they call it. So that just surprised me.
But that was the year where everybody went fucking crazy, and a lot of those were just horse shit.
Right. Well, they were dropping the year of which this went back. So Carrie's went back to 2004. Like Sean Penn, back to 2003, accused of violent behavior during marriage to Madonna. Well, come on.
I guess my point by making that statement was, for a lot of years, there was a lot of horseshit fucking claims just by not only women, but men also, when the women were in the power roles.
Right.
Basically just trying to get attention.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm saying, what was your number? Because my number was 3 as well, because 2 could be a collusion for sure.
Yeah. So this is going to blow your mind. Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, I think I've heard this one.
Since 2009, he has been rumored to be having a sexual relationship with his step-granddaughter. Step-granddaughter, boys and girls, not blood, which her accused murderer, Lamar Davenport, claimed was violent and emotionally intense.
Wow.
Mick Jagger, he had a sexual relationship with Ray Dong Chong when she was 15.
And I'm sure he did.
And he was 64.
That was still 56 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know how old he was. Johnny Depp, we know that, Amber Heard, and he got acquitted of all that nonsense.
Yeah, she was a crazy bitch.
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger, we know about that, diddling his maid or housekeeper, whatever. He kind of went George Costanza on us, rut. He's like, I'm in my office late at night. There's a cleaning woman, her hips going back and forth. I figure, what are the odds? When is this going to ever happen again?
And
And then his boss calls him out, right? Was that wrong? Because if you would have told me when you hired me that having sex with a cleaning lady on my desk was frowned upon, because my other jobs, I'm just saying.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
And if you're fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, not saying it's okay, but some things happen.
Yeah. So Charlie Rose, the 60 Minute fame dude, right? Was he Charlie on 60 Minutes?
No, he was on Meet the Press or something.
Meet the Press, okay. Yeah. Harassment, groping, making lewd calls, and indecent exposure. Charlie Rose.
I love it when those guys get fucking busted out because they're supposed to be, you know, everybody looks
above
to
the
them
law.
for being not even above the law. Like the average Joe person on the street looks to those people as like they're somebody, you know?
Yes.
They
Agreed.
give me the truth every night.
Yeah.
Every week. Here comes Charlie Rose. He wouldn't lie to me. Nobody fuck you.
Yep. Exactly. Gene Simmons, not surprising because the amount of people he's claimed to have
once
sex
again,
with.
stupid.
Yeah.
Gene don't have to force himself on anybody. Those girls decided that wasn't a good idea when they were done.
So this is funny. I didn't even dawned on this. Ozzy, this is what it says about Ozzy. One of the pioneers of heavy metal and one of the most commercially successful and iconic artists. Was born in Birmingham, England, as John Michael Osborne. After leaving school and having many odd jobs, he ended up in a band with Geezer Butler. Blah blah blah. So in 1981, okay, the next line, Osborne drunkenly did a striptease on a table and kissed a record executive without permission. His second marriage to wife Sharon was described as mutually abusive, with Sharon referring to herself as a beaten woman after Osborne knocked her front teeth out, to which she threw a scotch bottle at him. Well, he was drunk at the time. And
Of course he was.
Not defending Ozzy, but, you know, she knew what she was getting into. When she decided to join up with him and be his manager and then get in bed with him and marry him, she knew, right, that's what I'm saying. She knew what she was getting into. His ex-bandmate Carmine Appice claimed he witnessed Osborne punch Sharon in the face. When attempting to intervene, fellow bandmates Bob Daisley advised Appice not to intervene due to Ozzy and Sharon being in a mutually abusive relationship.
Which was probably
right.
true.
Appice stated Sharon assaulted Ozzy not long after that, resulting in Appice withdrawing from the situation. In 1989, Osborne was arrested for attempted murder for Sharon. Everybody knows that story. He was strangling her because he was blackout drunk. The couple reconciled after Osborne's 6-month drug treatment and separation from her. In 2016, Osborne engaged in an affair with Sharon, later claiming Osborne had an affair with 6 women. So which one? In 2016, Osborne engaged in an affair. Oh, okay. So Ozzy had an affair, claiming that Sharon had affairs with 6 other women. I don't fucking whatever that. So
he said Sharon had affairs with 6 women.
He said in 2016, Osborne engaged in an affair with Sharon, later claiming Osborne had an affair with 6 women. So that's hard to read. That was something weird about that. They should have used Ozzy and Sharon, not Osborne and Osborne, because I don't know how to interpret that.
Okay.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage. Yeah, 2000. Did you know Nicolas Cage in Leaving Las Vegas, he spent the entire time filming that movie drunk? So it brought
For real?
So it brought authenticity to his character.
I had heard that story, but I didn't know if it was true.
Billy Bob Thornton, Bad Santa, so drunk during the mall scenes that he actually passed out.
I believe that.
No, he said the same thing. It brought authenticity to his character. He passed out drunk. Passed out on the escalator.
Yeah, but that's Billy's character to begin with. I mean, that is Billy Bob Thornton. He smokes fucking 5 packs of cigarettes and drinks like a fish.
Yep.
Well, he used to. I guess if you Google it now, I'm sure he's sober. But
Mario Lopez, the AC Slater from NBC's popular 80s teen series Saved by the Bell, accused of date rape in 1993. But there's no evidence to support the claim, and witnesses contradicted the accuser's claims. In 2004, his marriage to Ali Landry was annulled after he admittedly had an affair at his bachelor party.
Not gonna lie, I watched every episode of that.
Oh, I did too, because we were that age, man. That was it was the fucking coolest show ever. You wanted to be those kids, man. It's like,
Oh yeah.
Jimmy Page, during his drug-addicted years. During the 70s, he had a long relationship with Lori Maddox, beginning when she was 13 or 14 and while he was an adult and in his 20s. So Jimmy Page is a pedophile. There it is, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy. She's 13 years old, man.
At this time in history.
Yeah, but
for most of recorded history, that was a woman.
Right. Steven Seagal knew that. Ex-wife Kelly LeBrock claims that she was abused through the marriage. It's not surprising. Seagal just comes across as an asshole. And Scott Weiland, you can't really domestic violence, but dude was fucking probably gored out of his mind. Oh, I did not know this. Charlie Sheen shot Kelly Preston.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I never heard that.
Oh yeah,
right on. Robin.
There's
Thicke.
another one that just gets away with it because everybody knows how Charlie Sheen is, right?
Yeah. Yep. Robin Thicke did all kinds of stupid shit, which is not. I've heard about that though. During the video Blur the Lines, he was inappropriately touching everybody because he was drunk, and he admitted it. He's like, "Yeah, I was drunk. I was fucking when I'm drunk, I have hands. I'm handsy, man. Like, oh, come here, baby." Tom Sizemore. Always loved Tom Sizemore. He was in Natural Born Killers. This is like claim to fame, I think, but he had some other really cool roles. He had a really cool role in Thelma and Louise. He played Thelma's boyfriend. Tom Sizemore, I always thought was a cool actor. So fucker. Matthew Broderick. You probably knew this. Matthew Broderick killed somebody in a car accident while he was hammered. He got in trouble for it. Heck, he didn't shy away from it. Been there, done that. You know.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Gary Shandling, who's dead now.
That was a great show. Gary Shandling show.
Right.
I fucking love that show.
He was accused. Boy George served 4 months in prison after holding a male escort captive and beating him. Okay.
You know that's what Mark Knopfler's talking about in Money for Nothing, right?
Yeah.
We can't say that word, but he can.
Chili Peppers. They used the Chili Peppers, not just an individual, but the Chili Peppers band. Okay, the band. Kiedis convicted of sexual battery and indecent exposure in '89. After exposing himself to a woman, he admits it to twice committing statutory rape against a 14-year-old girl at age 23.
These are people that played with socks on their dick when they were on stage, and that's all they wore.
There's nothing wrong with that. But he admitted to twice committing rape to a 14-year-old girl when he was 23. Like,
what?
Why didn't he serve? Yeah.
Yeah, why did he not serve fucking...
He was convicted in 89 after exposing himself. He also admitted to twice committing statutory rape against a 14-year-old girl at age 23. Why didn't he go to prison for that shit? Bassist Flea and Chad Smith were arrested after being accused of sexually harassing a 20-year-old woman during the filming of an MTV Spring Break show. The entire band was accused by a 2016 former record exec of sexually harassing her at business meetings. That's not surprising because they kind of come across as those kind of fucks. And then here's his thing. Here's Anthony Kiedis' thing.
Anybody who goes on stage naked is definitely a sexual pervert, and so they all must be.
Yeah. So there's this thing.
I never went on stage naked once.
So I would have, because I don't give a fuck. I think it would have been funny. I would have had something cover my ding-a-ling. They wrote a song called Catholic School Girls Rule, and that was based on his statutory raping of a 14-year-old girl. Fucking prick. I just lost all respect for him.
Absolutely.
Flea was arrested in 90 after sexually assaulting a 20-year-old woman in 2016. Chad Smith, accused of sexual harassment, record executive. So yeah, both of those. Sean Connery, we all know Sean Connery was a wife beater.
Oh, yeah.
He was very adamant about that. But that's and not justifying, but that's where he was brought up. That's what he knew. That's what he was raised in.
Go back and watch those movies that were made during that era, and then tell me that that's not different.
Right.
That's where you and I have common sense, and the rest of the world's like, I'm going to judge everybody the same, right? You can't judge everybody the same. He literally grew up in an era where smacking a woman in a movie was completely acceptable.
Right. It was commonplace. That was part of it. That was
because, ladies, before about 1970 something, actually until 1993, you could legally rape your wife.
Yeah. Yes.
It didn't get enacted into law until 1993.
Yep. Crazy. This one's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. accused of domestic violence. Yeah, you don't say.
Yeah. Well.
Tell me one boxer that didn't have some kind of run-in with the law. I doubt you're going to find very many that were successful.
And if you want to date somebody that got punched in the head a fucking 10,000 times in his life, you got to kind of know you're going into something that could be a little unpredictable, right?
Yeah. Yep. So Drake Bell in August of 2020. Remember Drake Bell, the Drake and Josh show, and he's still out there as a musician. He was accused of physical, verbal, and emotional abuse. But okay, and like you know, he didn't rape you. He didn't pillage you. I mean, I'm not playing down what he did, but leave the relationship. Leave. But you didn't leave because you wanted the guacamole. I want the guacamole. Andrew Dice Clay, known for his unapologetically candid comedic skits and commentary that is routinely considered openly misogynistic in nature due to his total disregard for politically correct terminology and views about women. So yeah, that was he's a poster board. I'm gonna claim
once again.
I'm gonna claim he did it. Eminem's ex-wife accused him of abuse during their marriage, which who knows. Bill Murray's ex-wife accused him of abuse. None of these, and both of those aren't ever been founded. Ted Nugent, Motor City Madman.
We know he likes little girls.
Yep, 17-year-old. At the age 30, he was fucking a 17-year-old. Okay. Zach Ty Bryan. He was a dude on Toolman Taylor TV series. What the fuck was it? Toolman?
Home Improvement?
Yes. He tried to strangle his girlfriend. Okay. May Pang accused John Lennon of abusing her during the relationship. Yeah. Don't think John Lennon was the type. Can you say peace? I imagine.
Yeah.
Tyson.
Unless that was the best act in the history of the world.
Right. Tyson, convicted of rape. We knew that. For a minute there, I thought it said Michael J. Fox. I'm like, fuck you. It said Matthew Fox.
He was on Lost, right?
He was on Party of Five. I know him from.
Yeah, okay. I remember that.
Edward Furlong, Terminator Kid. He began. Oh, she was 26 and what the fuck? She was 26 and he was 13. His first wife, Jacqueline Louise Domack, who began dating him when she was 26 and he was 13, sued him for violence in 1999. His second wife, Rachel Neeland, obtained a civil protective order against him, which he violated in 2010 and was sentenced to 180 days in jail after his girlfriend accused him of using force against her. 13 and 26. That goes back to that teacher thing. If it's a female teacher, it's like, yay. If it's a male teacher, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. He wins.
Yeah. Aaron Carter, who's dead, he died of drug overdose, part of the whole Diddy thing. He was accused by his brother Nick of threatening to kill his then pregnant wife. I'm sure just got out of context, Gary Busey beats people up. We knew that. Superman, Dean Cain, inappropriate comments and touching her without permission in 2016. The case was thrown out due to lack of evidence.
Wasn't he married to Tori Spelling?
I hope not, because I would look down on him for marrying Tori Spelling.
I thought he was.
Dudley Moore, domestic violence 94, but that's because he was drunk all the time. Dr. Dre, he assaulted a journalist in 92. Pete Rose, no shit. What did he do? He had a sexual relationship with a minor in the 70s.
Oh, no, that was Dean McDermott.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Vince Neil, he arrested and convicted of 2003 assaulting a prostitute. And then, he killed what's-his-face in a car accident, too. It's funny, the Vince Neil picture, he's all fit and thin. Axl Rose charged with statutory rape in 85 after Rose and his bandmate Slash had sex with a 15-year-old girl. After hiding from the police, the charges were dropped due to lack of evidence. Despite this, Rose recalled the events and settled out of court. So they basically were three-weighing with a 15-year-old, Slash and Axl. Kid Rock, sexual misconduct again by his publicist Kurt. That's funny. Huh. Wouldn't have thought that. Vanilla Ice Baby, domestic violence 3 times. That's surprising. It doesn't seem like the type, but we don't know who they are really in real life. Oh, Tom Wopat from the Dukes of Hazzard, Bo. Oh no, he's Luke. Luke Duke.
Yep.
He pled guilty to groping 2 women, including a 16-year-old girl at a musical rehearsal. So at least did it. My bad. Axl Rose and his then wife, Stephanie Seymour, the Victoria's Secret's catalog model, they both filed mutual claims of domestic violence. So they both kicked each other's ass. At least it's fair. If you're going to kick my ass, I'm going to kick yours back. And
they had a volatile relationship for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we're at 193. It's amazing the amount of, some of these you don't know. Oh, Tony Robbins.
Oh, yeah.
Sexual assault, sexual harassment.
Yeah, that ruined him.
Fans, staffers, as well as molesting a teenage girl. Wow.
That's why you don't hear his name anymore.
There you go. Because if you don't hear it, it's true.
I bought his tapes back in the 90s.
Right on.
Oh, yeah. They actually worked. I still apply a lot of that shit today.
Right on, man. Obviously, it didn't work with him trying to get his dingling. So yeah, so that's the highlights of that. That's the the who's who of the top 216 people on the Me Too hit list. Me Too.
Yeah.
So that's fun. So you wanted to do something else. We did the shout outs. You told me you would remind you of something else before the show. I forget what that was now.
So do I.
Was it a screenshot? Was it topic of conversation?
Fuck, I don't remember.
There's my sexy ass wife just walked by. I got a drill. If I had a guitar, I would be Eddie Van Halen homage right now.
Is that a DeWalt?
It is. And the funny story about this DeWalt is the people that did the birthday party, they left 2 drills in a bag. And I reached out to them, and they have yet to come pick them up. So
I'll tell you another funny story.
I have a new drill.
That's how important marketing is when you're developing a brand. Because I don't have glasses on.
You don't have
glasses on. I can't see that, but I know by that color scheme, that's DeWalt.
That's DeWalt.
And I'm not even a tool man.
Tim the Tool Man Taylor.
Here's something you'll appreciate.
I appreciate it, Mike.
For April Fool's Day in 1998, Burger King took out a full-page ad in the USA Today introducing a Whopper designed especially for lefties. The new burger...
That's awesome.
...would contain the same ingredients as the original, but rotated 180 degrees. Thousands of customers, this is the best part, thousands of customers swarmed Burger King restaurants requesting the lefty Whopper.
Wow. Dude, that's awesome.
This goes on to say, Burger King introduced a solution for the 1.4 million left-handed customers visiting their restaurants daily, the left-handed Whopper. They claimed that it was rotated 180 degrees. However, when Southpaws eagerly tried to order the burger the following day, they waited in line behind right-handed customers who were equally concerned about ensuring they received the correct Whopper.
That's fucking hilarious, man.
The thought that a burger is basically, a circle apparently never crossed any of their minds.
I just marked that because that's funny.
That is how stupid fucking people are.
I won't say stupid. Let's say gullible. That's gullible.
Man, I don't know, dude. That border, it's a fucking circle.
This is true. It is a circle.
I am not the smartest man alive, but I look at that and I'm like, how can it be left-handed anything? It's a circle.
Well, what if it was Wendy's? Because Wendy's patties were square. Remember? Because Dave wanted square patties.
It worked too.
Why?
It was a gimmick.
It was a gimmick.
And it worked.
And you turn it so you can bite the corner first. I bite all the 4 corners so that way then it's round. That's how you eat a square burger. There's a gnat in here. Where'd the gnat come from?
Here's another thing I found interesting.
All right.
And this will improve your health.
Right on.
So we all know that eating too much pasta is bad for you, right?
I did not know that, but okay.
Yes, do not eat too much pasta. It's not good.
What's too much?
Like every day.
So you had to. I need
4
to
times
expand
a
on
week.
that. Yeah, I need an expansion on that because I was thinking maybe like you don't need a whole bag of ancient whole pasta in one sitting.
No.
But if you eat 4 pasta for 4 days straight, okay, I got you. So,
and in Chris Dunham's case, it doesn't fucking matter at all because he's going to go run 27 miles and and lift weights. And, you know, in your case, you need pasta in your life because it's carbohydrates, right?
right.
If you eat a whole pot of spaghetti and then you go sit on the couch, you're going to die soon. That's all I can tell you.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's really bad. Huh. So, for the people who do like pasta,
okay,
and to make it healthier, if you cool your pasta for 24 hours, it turns some starches into resistant starch, reducing blood glucose and insulin spikes while acting as a prebiotic. Reheating it actually amplifies this effect, potentially lowering blood glucose rise by 50%.
So those things are good?
Yeah, so that's what happens when you eat too much pasta. It turns into sugar in your body. You could actually make yourself diabetic eating pasta all the time.
Wow.
Because basically you're turning that carbohydrate into sugar if you don't go do what Chris Dunham does, which is run.
There's a fly. There's a fly.
If you eat a pot of spaghetti and you go run 5 miles, you're burning all that up.
It's the next day. I wouldn't eat like carb load, you know,
but still.
Right.
You know, there's people that eat spaghetti and then they eat lasagna and then they, you know what I'm saying?
Italians.
Then they go have 5 sandwiches on a hoagie bun, you know,
Italians.
shit like that. All those breads and carbohydrates turn into sugar if you're not an active person. It's really bad for you.
Gotcha. A moment of your health with Mike Michaels.
Well, I found that interesting that it actually lowers it by 50%. That's huge.
So basically, we're going to make angel hair pasta tonight. We stick it in the refrigerator for 24 hours, heat it up in the microwave tomorrow, and that's dinner.
Don't heat it up.
Healthy way to eat it.
Do not heat it up in the microwave.
Oh, do not heat it up. So put it in a baggie and drop the baggie into the boiling water and heat it up that way.
Yes.
And that's the healthy way to eat pasta.
That's how I would do it. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to share that with the missus.
Fuck that microwave.
Fuck that microwave. I like to open the microwave after it's done and just inhale.
I like to stand right next to it while it's cooking.
I do too. You know, get the heat from it, get the radiation. You know,
I feel like I have a glow after it's done.
Yeah. Is you a little happier? You know, you're radiating. You know, it's that when you look at the woman. Oh, you're so radiant today. Yes, I made my coffee in the microwave this morning. Oh, fun.
You know how I keep joking that we may live in a simulation?
Yes.
6 days ago, former NASA physicists performed new experiments that actually may prove that we live in a simulation.
So this is the Truman Show?
Former NASA physicist Thomas Campbell has dedicated his work to answering that mind-blowing question. Through his nonprofit, Campbell has designed a series of experiments to test whether our universe is being rendered much like a video game. His approach offers a fresh spin on the famous double-slit experiment, which explores the wave-particle duality of light and matter. So basically, he's going to try and prove what they think they've already proved in the 70s, which we talked about, where I told you that guy gave that speech where he said they found error-correcting code in our DNA. So your computer actually has programs that run in the software that when there's glitches or there's a fork in the road where the data can't go, it sits and waits, and there's actually programming that corrects these errors that happen, right?
Interesting.
They found this error correcting code in our DNA in the 1970s. Why would that be there, right?
Yeah.
That's when people started saying, hey, is this all just an illusion, you know?
Right.
So this guy's actually working on trying to answer that question.
That's pretty cool, man. All right, we got about 5 minutes left. What do you want to talk about? Any more topics? Any more grand schemes of screenshots? Mike's a big screenshot taker.
I just like interesting things that people don't know about.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even know that we're, you know, toying around with the thought that we're not really here.
Right. Which would be weird because then what are we? We're a computer program. Because if I'm a computer program, I'm pretty legit. If I can make some adjustments maybe get some a little bit more speed, something like that. Maybe some bionics,
Well,
because I'd like to have better eye vision. If I'm a computer program, I want 20/10 eyes, and the asthma goes away, so that I can do 5-minute miles for 26 miles.
here was another one. You'll appreciate this.
Okay.
I'm not sure I subscribe to it, but everybody that subscribes to the Big Bang Theory, that the universe started at less than the size of the head of a pin, right? I still can't wrap my head around that one, but the scientific community seems to think that the entire universe started with less than the head of a pin. So now these same physicists are saying that when that Big Bang happened, there's no other alternative than for another universe to have been blown behind it. That universe runs backwards.
Oh.
Time runs backwards from here.
Oh, so we're
So there
it's like
really
the
is
Go ahead.
a universe right next to us.
I can't see it out my window.
No, but that would explain a lot of deja vu moments. It would explain a lot of I've been here before.
Right.
Because you really have.
Yeah.
That's the definition of infinity, is that everything that could ever happen
Right.
has happened
Right. And it continues to happen.
multiple times.
Right. So
You and I have had this conversation before.
But were we this age, or were we older, or were we younger? Because if it runs in reverse, then aren't we? What is that? The mysterious case of Benjamin Buttons? Aren't we aging backwards?
The people in the universe next to us are, apparently.
Like we come out of the womb full grown and stretch that thing,
I don't know. I didn't read it that far. It just said that universe would run backwards. I didn't.
I wonder if that's.
I'd have to dive into it. I'm curious to find out how that would work, so I will go read on it. But I just read that literally like yesterday.
Okay. So yeah. So
and they showed a picture of it where the Big Bang would happen, and
Yeah.
there was one universe being blown one way, and it clearly showed the other one behind it, and it makes sense. When you shoot a gun, there's a recoil, right? Even if it's ever so slight, yeah.
Right. So here's a good thing to wrap up. I don't watch the news, you know this, but I've been seeing rumblings about this. The drones. What the fuck is up with the drones? Have you heard about this? There's drones like all over the place, and like in New Jersey, apparently they're running rampant to the fact that they're rerouting flights.
And nobody can explain what they are, where they came from, but they're flying at an altitude that they cannot be just, Chris and Mike's drone that we fly in the backyard kind of deal. They're too high. It's too cold up there.
Okay.
That's the concern, is the altitude they're flying at is... It would have to be like a military-grade drone, is what the guy that was supposedly the expert that I saw in the news said. His drone can't fly that high for that long.
But you've seen what drones can do now, right? You see what some people are doing with drones, right? Like Vegas had a drone. Yeah, Vegas had a drone show with Darth Vader in the sky.
But these drones are like what you would see an airplane coming in on an approach at, right? Like when they say, hey, we got to circle around the city for a couple laps.
Yeah.
They're that high.
Okay.
You can't run your,
Okay. Well, you can, because there's technology the government's not telling us they have. So I'm kind of thinking that I see where you're going, but I'm going to contradict that and say that there's so much more technology than we're aware of, because the government does so much more stuff.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what the guy that was the expert was saying is, we don't fly our drones that high. I don't know what they are.
China does.
Now the senators are like, we want some fucking answers.
China, North Korea. Ooh,
no, North Korea can't even get a missile off their barely into the
That's
ocean.
what they want you to think.
That's the biggest scam in history. If they've just been lobbing fucking rockets in the ocean, acting like they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Meantime, in the fucking backyard of Young Jung Kim, whatever the fuck his name is, they got fucking stockpiled nuclear weapons, but they know if they push it, then the whole world's gone. So he's not going to push it. That's what I'm saying right there.
Oh, that was great. It's the biggest scam in history. They act like they don't have any technology, but yes.
They are leaders in the world of nuclear arsenal. They just don't want to admit it.
Yeah, so if I hear anything about those drones, I'll look. I've been watching that story every day because now I'm fascinated too.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You're right.
Sure. Yeah, Nick and I are trying a new running group tonight, so we're going to see how that works out. It's closer to the house, which is nice.
Sweet.
So, new people, see what happens there.
Well, you guys enjoy.
Yeah. Anybody else you want to give it a shout out to aside from everybody who's listening? Hey, thank you for making us the top 15% of Spotify. That's pretty cool.
Yes, I got to post that on Instagram too. I keep forgetting to do that. Absolutely, everybody. Thank you very much. We're humbled and super appreciative that you guys enjoy listening to our endless ramblings of our lunatic minds, as Tony Palmer would say.
Yes. Hey, Tony. And Tony Palmer, he commented on something I posted the other day. So, hey, Tony.
Yeah, always a shout out to Tony. Get your ass on the podcast. That's where I'm at now.
Yeah, I just sent you the thanks to you, Chris and Mike show. We are in the top 15% of the video, so you can continuity.
I'll put it on Instagram.
Continuity. All right, boys and girls, it's that's it. That's a wrap. We're done. Stick a fork in us. I'm Chris. He's Mike. This is the Chris and Mike show. Don't let the bad days win. You are loved. Somebody loves you. Somebody will miss you. Don't be that person who lollipops with a revolver. Call somebody. Reach out for help. 988, right? 988. I always forget that. I don't know why.
988.
988. Help is available. Okay, just call 988. You can also text it. Okay, so do that. You can talk to someone for free. Anything and everything. And I'm looking on the thing. They're all 988. Doesn't matter what state you're in. Even Twitter, or I'm sorry, X, formerly known as Twitter, has a 988 account.
That's awesome.
So yeah. So don't be that person, man.
No, because if you've ever been touched by suicide, that's
it sucks.
It does.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
That's it. It just sucks.
It's terrible.
So don't be that person. 988.
No.
Reach out to us. You can shoot us a message.
Yep.
It would be not welcome, but we get not very many messages that are worth a shit. I get a lot of boobs. That all came out wrong.
Yeah, it's okay.
Anyway,
it's okay. All right, man. Have a great night.
You too. Love you, brother.
Love you too, man. See
Peace.
you.